Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. We are doing a double bill today. We are talking Discovery, Season 4, Episode 11, also known as the Rosetta. I like how it was played in this particular episode. And we're back with Picard Season 2, baby. Episode 1, the name escapes me. You got the name for that?
No, not off the top of my head. Sorry.
Fair enough. Nevertheless, I watched both shows today. Watched them twice actually. I'm very happy I managed to do that considering it's a tube strike here in London. But nevertheless, I was able to pull that off. I watched it this morning, and then later on this.
By the way.
Oh yes, the Stargazer, of course.
The Meat Gazer.
And yeah, exactly. So we watched both of these episodes. So, Cousin Cheeto, as you my co-host and my guest, I'm going to ask you, which would you like to talk about first, Disco or Picard?
Let's talk Picard. That's the hot topic people want to hear about.
Yeah, fair enough. So we kind of start off with this episode being initially when we saw the end of the episode at the beginning of the episode, which some episodes love doing nowadays. I actually thought, oh my god, is that the end of the season? You know, when we go 48 hours earlier, is this like 48 hours is going to represent the whole fucking season? But no, luckily it was just that particular episode. And I kind of knew how this episode was going to be structured to a degree, as we already knew the Q was going to be in this episode. Once I realized that we didn't see him like halfway through, I knew that he was going to be the tickler, so to speak. You know, like the come back for some more, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give you some more. So, like, here's the cue and stuff like that. I did like the way that he was, John Delancey was de-aged, and then he aged himself. And
I knew that's exactly what they were going to do, though. Like, I think I even said that in our preview for the Discovery.
Yeah, you might have done, yeah. And I'm not surprised. I'm glad they did that, though, instead of him coming old and stuff like that. And on top of that, very nice of him to age himself up, by the way.
Well, he's like, I got to catch up. And they did a good job. I mean, he looked like young Q, which I know is not hard because it was just the one scene.
Yeah, it was a really good. Yeah, it was a very good de-aging, by the way.
Yeah, it looked very good for the short time it was there.
Yeah, and also we had talking about aging species. We had Guinan back as well, who also explained her aging too. You know, I mean, even though she sounds like she smokes 40 a day now. Nevertheless, Whoopi Goldberg is back as Guinan, a very popular fan favorite, I may add. So, Daniel Vance, welcome to the stream. I felt the hourglass in the beginning credits was a nod to John Delancey and his time on Days of Our Lives as the time traveler Eugene Bradford. I have totally missed that. Listen, when it comes to John Delancey, Daniel Vance, I remember him as the sleazy doctor from Hand That Rocks the Cradle, who was testing women by basically, he was like, using his position as a doctor to touch women up, and you could tell he was a sleaze bag. And there's one procedure he did where he was supposed to wear this glove, but then when the woman was out of sight, the woman's eyes were out of sight, he took the glove off and stuck his hand right up there. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's why I remember John Delancey outside of Star Trek, by the way. Okay, so in this episode, Picard is harvesting his grapes. You know what I mean? He's got some lovely music playing along. We're in Chateau de Picard and stuff like that. And him and his Romulan babysitter, they seem to be getting it on a little bit. Well, he seems to, he thinks to himself, I'm not getting any younger here. I've got this new fucking, robotic body. How about we give it a go? You know what I mean?
And give those pistons a reason to run.
Exactly. But regardless, I thought this romance felt a bit weird, or whatever it was. This sort of, I wouldn't even call it a romance. This sort of lust or like attraction or whatever he has to his housekeeper, a Romulan girl.
I'm gonna interject. I mean, here's the thing, and I was thinking about is that Romulans can live up to 300 years old. So I mean, it's quite possible, and I don't know if in season 1 they mentioned her age, but it's very, very possible that she is older than he is technically.
Yeah, but there is a difference. There is a difference.
I understand that, But I'm just saying, like, but I was thinking about that while I was watching this. I'm like, well, technically she could be. She said was getting too old for something, and I'm like, okay, so she's obviously like an older Romulan, so she's probably in her 300s, maybe even late 200s, because I think Vulcans and Romulans live till they're like mid 300s. I think maybe closer to 400. I don't remember how old Savick was when he died, but yeah.
He says the series ends with the road not taken. Yeah. Well, I'll get to that to a degree because something was mentioned a little bit later on with his conversation with Guinan. But prior to that, I think was it prior to that he goes to Starfleet and he gives a little speech.
Yeah, I think that's prior. Well, the whole romance thing was happening before the speech. He went and did the speech, and then I think he went to talk to Guinan after that.
Yeah, like he cock blocked himself by not being able to put the moves on, which kind of then made the Romulan woman second guess. And then he goes to make his speech, and he brings that Romulan kid. He's like the first Romulan to join Starfleet, which is kind of remarkable when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's just talking about a whole bunch of things. And then what's her face? The black lady, I forgot her name. I'm not doing well here, am I? You have to get a list of names here, mate. Yeah, I mean, like Picard was asking her, why aren't you and 7 and 9 not scissoring right now? And and yeah, I'm sorry. And like she was saying, like, like 7 and 9 wanted her to go on to better things.
Raffi.
Like be involved in Starfleet, have a career. And then we see 7 and 9, and for some reason she's being hijacked by pirates on her ship, and she's kicking ass. And there's a really good moment in this scene because she has those holograms which look like Poe Dameron, and eventually she tells the computer to remove the safety protocols, which makes the hologram end up being like her teammates and fight those fucking those pirates who are trying to steal her shit, her medical supplies. Yeah, now the flashback starts with the USS Avalon was part of the Pendragon Expanded Universe comics, whose story deals with the alternative timeline where a coup of Earth takes place. Well, regarding the USS Avalon, that name was mentioned when they came across that void in space, and all I kept thinking about was Josh and Tyler, Josh and Tyler especially. They must be losing their fucking shit right now. Yes, USS Avalon. Yes, respect, bro, respect. And I'm thinking, yeah, they must be so fucking happy that was mentioned. Hopefully, that ship didn't get destroyed. Is that correct? It survived.
Well, the ending of this episode, are you?
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of that. But initially, when they came across that entity in space, which was that green void, I'll be honest with you, it was kind of making me think a little bit of Disco. Like, it felt like there was some similarities regarding what they were dealing with. But fortunately, during the course of this episode, like you could see that there were significant differences. But we do cut back to pick to the Stargazer, which is now being captained by Poe Dameron, whose real name is
somebody. Hold on, I have the list.
Oh, come on, mate. Do you mean my co-host? Get those names out. And he became captain just like that, didn't he?
Yeah, that was going to be one of my issues here. Was like, okay, so he's back and now he's a captain of a starship, like called the Stargazer.
The Stargazer as well.
I don't. Chris Toby? I don't know. I can't. This list here doesn't have a full name. I'm trying to.
All right, you know what? When you need to get the job done, you got to do it yourself. So let me just.
You know what? Just chill the fuck out. I'm working on a thumbnail, asshat.
Star Trek Picard. Here we go.
Cristobal Rios.
That's his name on the show. Captain Rios, yes. Now, was Captain Rios a member of Starfleet prior in season 1?
I don't remember.
Did he mention that? But nevertheless, he likes having a cigar in his hand without smoking it. Like, he's teasing it. Yeah, I'm teasing it. I might light the cigar up, but no, he doesn't do that. So fair enough. But they come across this entity, and yeah, it was. I knew it was going to be Borg. It's going to be Borg related, wasn't it? But before we get to that, Picard goes to visit Guinan, and Guinan now I'm like a being that lives thousands of years, but I think I'm going to age myself up so people don't freak out and realize that they're fucking realizing their their mortality by seeing me. So I'm going to age my ass up and become a bit fatter and sound like I smoke 40 a day. He already had rank. He chose to leave, which was mentioned last season. Was he a captain last season?
On his
Did
ship.
you mention it?
On his ship, he was a captain, but I mean, they said he said that they mentioned last season that he was a captain prior to leaving Starfleet.
Okay. I'm just wondering because it's hard to remember all of these fucking things, to tell you the truth. But still, and we got a good look at the uniforms, as well, because I think the only time we really got to see a Starfleet uniform in the previous season was when we saw Riker, going all badass. In the end,
no, Picard went to Starfleet headquarters last season once.
Oh yeah, and somebody said the F word, and the whole of the fucking Star Trek universe.
Collective shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, they say the F word. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh god. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I do recall that was hilarious. But yeah, he gets some advice from Guinan, and Guinan actually, by the way, reminds him that a lot of his, he's a bit like, I wouldn't say necessarily like he's Kirk, like he fucks around, but he always puts himself in a situation where his relationships are never going to last. Like, he's always going to have to be on the move and stuff like that. And I think back to the movies, especially Insurrection and the series as well, and it was like that to a degree.
Yeah, Picard never. There was barely. I mean, there was one or two episodes where Picard was, ever trying to hit it. So I mean,
I would bring back Gates McFadden, and I would maybe seal the deal with that. But I'll be honest with you, like John Luke, Patrick Stewart being in his 80s, it does seem a bit weird. Him trying to get it on, but him and Beverly Crusher, I think if they're going to do anything, that's where it's at, in my opinion. And Gates McFadden still looks fucking amazing, by the way. Loved the uniforms, but hated the chevron material at the top. Looked a bit tacky to me. Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like somebody made it in textile class. I know what you mean. But yeah, so, and by the way, 7 and 9 is now running the Rios' ship as well. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's doing some liberation or some shit like that.
She's taking medical supplies.
Oh yes, exactly. So, and we also got Blondie as well. Blondie she's on that planet where what's her face twin girl is like doing some sort of diplomacy shit and sweet talking these boldies and in their language and stuff, and eventually Blondie and her they part ways. A twin girl, we don't see her for the rest of the episode, but Blondie,
I don't think she's. I mean, until the end of if she's involved in this from in the future, then it's probably just going to be Q bringing her to.
The alternative timeline shit, yeah, for sure. But Blondie, like, she comes back inebriated, she's drunk, and she's working on the fucking bridge. What's all that about?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? So in La Serena cargo hold, there is a crate labeled P607. This could be reference to Echo Papa 607, drawing from TNG, The Arsenal of Freedom, Season 1, Episode 21. Now, if you notice that, fucking amazing, mate. Personally,
also
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Sorry?
Dr. Girardi is the name you're looking for the Blondie.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep calling her Blondie personally because I was calling her Blondie last season, and she still needs to be arrested for fucking killing her boyfriend. Well,
I
she
don't know.
kind of
She said
explained a
that
little.
she was acquitted. So
Yeah, well, it said so. It's very, it's very, it's very convenient. And she's
you are
talking to
correct. It is
this
very
dude, and
convenient.
this dude is hitting on her, and she's fucking like, yeah, I killed my fucking boyfriend. You don't want to come in. You don't want any of this. I killed him.
I mean, I wonder. The guy was just trying to test out and see if he was fully functional.
Yeah, but we finally get to like when she gets on the ship, she deciphers this message and she finds out that it is from the Borg, and which are coming through this wormhole, this green wormhole, this emerald looking wormhole. And
Well, they don't find out it's from the Borg until the ship comes through.
I guess, but no, but they decipher the message. I mean, when I heard the message, I thought to myself, Borg.
Oh yeah,
What about
well
you?
that too. I mean, I would have too. I'm just saying, like they didn't know it was the Borg until like the ship came through, and then
All right,
79 confirmed it.
fair enough. But it kept saying, "Help us, Picard! Help us,
Mm-hmm.
Picard!" And obviously this message gets relayed to Picard. This captain comes over to his chateau and tells him about it, and then because he's admiral and he's got, he's probably the key to all of this. Um, they send him over to the Stargazer, and obviously he gets very nostalgic, even though he mentions that this is not the same Stargazer that he captained at the time, but nevertheless, it does make him feel like he's come full circle, which was nice. And then obviously he meets up with Rios and Seven of Nines on the ship as well. Blondie's there too, and that's when the Borg come through, and a whole bunch of Starfleet vessels are there as backup as well. And then the Borg says that they are there to negotiate, or was it to negotiate?
Well, yeah, they said we are preparing for negotiations or something like that. I think there's more here than meets the eye when it comes to the Borg. I mean, what Janeway did to the Borg apparently at the end of Voyager basically hobbled the collective a lot harder than I even thought. With the future virus and everything like that. So I just wonder if this is like a last ditch effort by the Borg for survival, and if they're coming to, the Federation. But the thing is I mean, it's not exactly what I mean. It's not a trap by the Borg because that the Borg, they even said in the action sequence, she's stunning them. You know, Picard's the
Yeah,
one.
I remember. But the
Picard's the
Borg
one who
Queen,
decided to blow up the ship and everyone else around it. Now, granted, she was acting very aggressive, so I don't blame them for being on the defensive. But she was stunning them, and she was never hurting anybody. But she was like doing the little, what are those little
yeah, but
tentacle things?
yeah, I mean, like the Borg can't be trusted.
No, and I
Yeah,
agree. So that's why I don't
and
blame them.
so I mean, personally, I'm still hoping that this was all just a big scam by the like. There's no bigger picture. I'm just hoping this was a big scam by the Borg. They like pretended that they needed help or whatever, and they were trying to come to the Federation for advice or whatever it may be. But really, it was just a big scam, and they're just there to assimilate everything and everyone.
I don't
But
know if I want that. I mean, it's a new tactic by the Borg, but at the same time, it's very out of character. And if one thing, I mean, the Borg are very consistent. They, so
Well, they assimilate, they learn, they bring things to their collective, and skullduggery could be one of them.
yeah.
I'm so glad they learned from the hate they received over the copy and paste fleet last season and actually gave us proper armada of ships. Yeah, I
That
noticed
is
that
true,
too,
man. There were a
actually.
lot of. I haven't had a chance to break down all the
hmm
ships that were in there.
You know what? Even when I saw the Stargazer, I thought to myself, "Oh my god, Bobby Black's gonna lose his fucking shit. Look at that fucking starship. It's got 4 fucking nacelles on it. It's a masturbation class or whatever the fucking hell you call it." Yeah,
Masturbation class.
yeah. I mean,
God
but
damn you, Zam.
yeah. So yeah,
Um.
nevertheless,
Well, but about those ships though, like, I mean, at the same time, it's like, I mean, the Federation you have Excelsior class, which are from the original series era, going all the way up until the going all the way up till next gen. I mean, like, and then now like we're supposed to believe that there's all new ships every couple years. I understand technology and all that, but give us some fucking Akaran class, Steamrunner class. Give us. We also got to see the apparently there's the Excelsior or something like that, and it's a Excelsior looking class. But I think it's the one from the season finale. It's the same class of Excelsior class from season 2, season finale of Lower Decks. Remember how the one bigger ship looked exactly like an Excelsior, just updated to modern Trek. So no, you're right. I'm definitely a masturbation class when I'm sitting there trying to look at
I want to see the Enterprise, by the way, in Picard. I want to see who's captaining it and all that sort of shit.
If it's still around, I mean, you never know. They might have.
Because Riker is captain the Shang-Chi or some shit like Shang-Chi or fucking whatever.
Or
whatever,
Shinzo.
Sulu finally got a ship named after him. We just need justice for Kim. Fair enough. Yeah, but it'd be nice to know who's captaining the Enterprise. I would like it to be someone like LaForge.
This would be a great. I don't want it to be someone from TNG, but it would be a great moment in this fleet because there's a bunch of ships there. It'd be a great moment for a cameo of them going over and being like, "Captain Kim, what do your sensors read?" And it's just, I know you probably want more involvement from Kim, but at least it's like some involvement. I
wouldn't mind Kim. I wouldn't mind O'Brien even.
I don't think O'Brien's going to be a captain. I think he's more. He would more retire at Starfleet.
Well, no, but like someone like Scotty became captain. Like he was a captain. He just
I think he's captain in rank, but not in position.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What you mean.
Tuvok would be a good one.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that too. Or maybe someone a bit more fleeting, who we might have seen in a handful of episodes. Or, who could end up being a captain as well, because I can't think of anyone at the moment, but if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So okay, so I kind of lost track where I was, but the Borg come on there, and they want to do negotiations, but first of all they need power, and then all these fucking tentacles come at the Borg Queen, who kind of looked a little bit like Nighthawk from fucking Guardians of Justice with her appearance. By the way, which is
I was kind of wondering what. It reminded me in the comic books. Rest in peace, Kirk Bailey, who played Magnus Hansen, Voyager season 5, episode 15. Off the top of my head, I can't remember that, but I mean,
Jesus
I'm sure
Christ, Daniel Vance, the proper encyclopedia here, man. By the way, Daniel Vance, we're watching, and I've already finished it, but Cheeto's watching currently Guardians of Justice on Netflix.
Dude, you're promoting that shit like no one else's business.
Well, considering we're going to do a review of it on this weekend, so but yeah. Anyways, so
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
The Borg Queen. I mean, like there's one point like a fucking helmet started moving about, like all these mechanisms in there, like Iron Man and shit like that, or moving about, and she was able to shoot a few lasers. She was fucking over the crew. She obviously adapted to their weaponry, so they couldn't fuck her over, and she was not killing them. But even then, if she shot them the way she did, she might have ended up starting to assimilate them, which could have been the case.
I mean, yeah, she could have been stunning them to assimilate them. Who knows? You might be right on that one, but
yeah. But on top of that, 7 and 9's there as well. I was like, you can't trust these motherfuckers. I know. I used to be one of them. You know what I mean? So.
Somebody. Okay. Keep going down. I got something I want to show you before we end this, though.
No problem. But eventually, it already becomes too much for them so soon. And eventually, Picard just gives the order to blow up the fucking ship, because not only is she taking over the Stargazer and assimilating it, she's also able to do that to all the other ships in the Armada. Some sort of Wi-Fi connection of assimilation, so to speak, in space. And eventually Picard gives the order, and then just before the ship blows up, the Borg Queen tells Picard, look up. And immediately I had flashbacks to the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Don't Look Up, which you still need to see, by the way.
Well, you know what that was, though, right? That was what Picard's mom told him.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about all the flashbacks with the mum. What was all that shit about?
I just probably they were setting up for this. So does this mean that? I mean, I does the Queen remember what Picard remembers from when he was Locutus? And maybe
Oh
that's
my god,
why.
maybe the Queen was Picard's mum.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. Like, no. The Queen better not be goddamn Picard's mom. We don't even know what happened to Picard's mom. I'd have to look up and see if there's any explanation of what happened to Picard's parents in canon. But I mean, no.
But it felt a bit macabre. Like I thought Picard's mum got murdered or killed or some shit like that by the looks of things.
I don't think so. I mean, at least not that I've ever heard, but you never know. They might change it since there's
the way the flashbacks were going, I mean, it looked a bit unsavory. But nevertheless, the ship blows up and Picard's back in Chateau Picard. And there's one of those weird looking androids that the actor could be in Mad Max if he wasn't playing a fucking android. Is there, and Picard goes, "Who the hell's you?" And even though he's things are familiar, things are also different within the chateau too. And he's wondering what the fuck's going on. And then boom, he hears a familiar voice. He goes, and it's, "Bonjour, mon capitaine." And who else is it? But it's Jay. I mean, sorry, it's Q. And
it's Jay. It's P. It's Z.
It's X. Yeah, the fucking Men in Black, isn't it? And he was wearing black as well. In an interview, so let me read that. In an interview, Stewart said this season was drawing on his own childhood. His dad suffered from PTSD from World War II. Fair enough. It was just he and his mom. Yeah, okay.
I'm sure that there was some mention, at least in
no mention of his brother, by the way. He inherited that from his bro. So, but nevertheless, where was I? So yeah, he hears Q, and I knew Q would come in at the end of this episode.
Yeah, if he wasn't in there in the middle, I knew. I'm with you. I knew he was coming at the end.
And he mentioned, like the trial never ends. Now, we've spoken about this before when we saw the trailer, because Q himself had become a bit of a changed character during the course of Voyager, where it was mentioned that he was no longer this mischievous character anymore. But it seems that he's kind of gone back to mischievous ways.
I think there's more to this though than him just showing up to cause shenanigans. I think there's a little bit more going on here. I just want to say that I'm starting a movement because you need
to go to the toilet.
No, I'm starting a movement that since John Delancey's Q is not the Q that I remember from the end of Voyager, that I'm moving to make Star Trek Voyager non-canon. I'm just saying.
So 7 and 9. Where the fuck does she come from then?
She's just
exactly. You know what?
No, but
all right. You know what I mean?
But that's what annoys me with fans when they sit there and they say they want to make all of Kurtzman's stuff non-canon. It's like if stuff that didn't make sense was non-canon, then the original series would fucking be non-canon. So y'all can just. Sorry.
I would jump on the Kurtzman bandwagon if I didn't think things were improving.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I feel mistakes are being rectified and he's learning from them, and I think things are improving.
I 100% agree. I think Picard season 2 is already an improvement.
I agree.
Obviously, Disco and Lower Decks is amazing. Like from the
Lower
beginning.
Decks is amazing. I've enjoyed Prodigy as well.
There's that.
Not forget that. But like I said, it's still adding to more Star Trek, and it's trying to bring kids involved, which is the right way to go. It might not be for us, but it is for them, and I have enjoyed it. I thought the episodes were getting cleverer and cleverer, and we still got one more show to come on the books as well in Strange New World. So, anyways, but but nevertheless, the trial never ends. Is that correct? That's what you said. He said the last time
and
we
the
saw
road
each
less
other, the
traveled, I
trial.
think. But
Yeah. But like you're coming towards the end of the road that was not traveled, or so to speak.
well, and here's my thing though: is that Q obviously knows that Picard's a synthetic. Like it's Q. He
No,
knows.
he's omitted to it. Omitted to that. I couldn't even say that word.
Omnipotent. Yes,
Yes.
he knows. So it's just kind of like that's why I think there's more being played at here. One of two things is going to happen. Either Q is going to get mad because Picard took well, he's going to consider it the easy way out instead of dying. Like he's going to be like, well, now you're in this husk of a body, this synthetic body, and he's mad because he's like, I don't know why he'd be mad, but I'm just saying like there's something off about this, and if it's not anything, it's just Q being Q. Then I feel like you're right. I feel like it's kind of doing a disservice to his character growth in Voyager. So
Yeah. Exactly, because I think even we got Q just doing Q shenanigans in TNG, but in Voyager we got more depth of the Q than ever. I just want to read
I
what
thought you
Vance
already
says
did.
here. I found it odd that Picard pronounced his ancestor's name as Picard. Yeah, but that's because he's being French. Yeah, I mean, anyway, but nevertheless, we're going to get a glimpse into the future episodes with what's going to be happening. And by the looks of things, there'll be some time travel and alternative reality shenanigans. But it looks like this whole season is something you would see sometimes clamored in 1 or 2 episodes, like a part 1, part 2 sort of thing. It looks like they're doing a whole season of that as well. And at some point, Picard's going to make every one of his gang remember who they really are. I think initially they might not remember who they are, and then Picard gets involved with them, and then he just touches them or whispers to them or whatever, and then they remember who they are, and they have to somehow get back to real time or whatever,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know, but
I don't know if you noticed, but they are using the slingshot technique that they used in Star Trek 6: The Voyage Home.
Star Trek
Or
4.
Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home.
Mhm.
Slingshot around the sun.
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah,
it looks
because it
like
looked
that's
like they were in various time zones, and it felt very Terran Empire-ish as well.
it would be interesting. Now, I don't know if I want this, but it would be very interesting if this was like TNG's first version of the mirror universe. I don't know if I want that because I'm kind of like, we're kind of past the point where we're like, oh, there's the prime universe and then the mirror universe. Like we know that there's multiple universes out there.
Well,
Like
Tarka's mentioned that now, so
yeah, so
in
that's why I'm
Discord,
like,
yeah.
it probably won't be the mirror universe. It'll just be a different universe, or at least a different version of events. Because I think in
What
the
could have been?
preview, well, I think that in the preview it said that Q changed something in 2024 that set us on the path of the change, like the totalitarian state. So we'll find out in probably the next episode what did because apparently Picard's going to be some like big shit wig or something like that.
No, fair enough, fair enough.
Before you move
Yeah,
on, though, I want to bring this up. Right there, baby. All the ships. Excelsior class, Ross class, Reliant class, way back there. Inquiry class, Gargan class. There's the Akaran.
There you go. You must have fucking shot
Good
your load
idea.
about 500 times over that bollocks.
Look at that. There's a Sovereign class. The Sovereign class is the Enterprise, E. So now there's another Sovereign class back here, too. I don't know if you can see that.
And they all got blown up, which is nice to know.
Yeah, Luna class. So yeah, I blew my collective load all over this. So you know how I am.
Wonderful. So let's move on to Disco, also known as Rosetta, episode 11, season 4. So
Discovery.
Our gallant crew have come to the planet where they believe species 10C originate from.
1 second.
And
I'm still here, but
no problem. So in this episode, it's like obviously trying to make first contact and all that sort of stuff. and they're gonna go down to this planet where they believe 10C is from. As well as that, we have Booker and Taka. They're gonna go down to that planet too, but they want to get more information on species 10C because they want to retaliate against them. And now time is of the essence because in 29 hours, the DMA is going to be in parts of the Alpha Quadrant where Earth and Navarre is and stuff, and cause a lot of shit.
Technically, Navarre and Earth is in the Beta Quadrant. I'm just throwing that out there.
All right, whatever, yeah. But obviously this is very important to Michael because she's brought up on Navarre, she's from Earth, and so she's got a lot. So she's brought up on Vulcan, and she's from Earth, and she's got a lot. She's got a massive stake in this, and she has a team of herself and Saru. So you've got both captains involved in this. It's funny in a way, like if Saru is so important, then why the hell are you going there, Michael? In my opinion,
I was going to bring that up. Is why if Saru is so important, then why does Michael have to be on this mission? And I'm sorry, like it makes no sense because when you have a first in command, the first in command is supposed to go on the away missions, and the captain is supposed to stay, unless it's like diplomatic or something where the captain is required. And they always try to find these excuses to put her in there. Like there was like she's like, oh, I've got the most experience doing blah blah blah.
All I'm saying is that how many times have we seen Kirk and Spock, Picard and Riker, Kira and Cisco, God, man, the names are escaping me now. Janeway and Chakotay. How many times have we seen these fuckers together on away missions?
I'm gonna say Kirk and Riker almost never. They're almost never on an away mission together.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean Kirk and Riker.
Janeway and Chakotay almost. I don't more than Kirk and more than Picard and Riker, but still not you. If you watch normally, if they're doing an away mission, Chakotay's there. DS9 is different because it's a space station, and normally when they are doing stuff that's away, there's like a set amount of people on the Defiant. And TOS is just because they always had to have Kirk, McCoy, and Spock, and it was a 60s show and whatever.
Once again, you forget the premises. This is the Michael Burnham show, but the Michael Burnham show is giving other people a chance to join her. So last week it was Owo, or the week before it was Owo. Other people are there. And this week is Detmer, who had a massive role in this and kind of showed that she's pretty badass as well. So much so that Adira has respect for her for being such a fucking badass. But yeah, because she's a decent pilot, she goes on this mission. And Colbert as well, he's like going on dangerous missions all the fucking time now. You know what I mean? So it'll be nice to see the other Doctor go on a mission just to mix it up a little bit. But Colbert, he's the main, And yeah, so all four of them go down to this planet to investigate the species 10C, or try to make first contact or find some information or something along those lines. And initially, when they get down to this planet, they start hallucinating because three of them stood, or one of them stood around on this blue dust, and then both Colbert and Burnham made contact with Saru, physical contact, and so they got infected too, and they started hallucinating stuff, making them scared and shit like that. Eventually, Detmer did some sort of techno jargon, which basically got them out of their fear. But Saru kind of harkened back to what he was in season 1 and 2, where he'll be shitting himself all the fucking time. He had these little tentacles coming out of his fucking skull and stuff like that. But even before all of that, they discovered some bones, and these were big fucking bones. You know what I mean? Big creatures, man. Big fucking creatures. And then when they go into what they feel is a more secure structure, because the whole place has been decimated, but one place was more secure than the rest, and they realized that they're in some sort of nursery. The away crew all turning off their suit protection to let the dust. It was just reckless, least brilliant thing I've seen Disco Crew do. I don't think did they do that or just somehow like.
No, they did at the end. Remember when they were all trying to like Burnham turned off her protection and did it, but then everybody else did too. And it's like I
But they
kind of
all want to get fucking high, man. You know what
I mean, yeah, that seems like what the case was.
Yeah. Nevertheless, they they realize that these creatures are absolutely fucking massive, and they find a structure which is still it's been fucked over as well, but it was more secure than the others. And through a little bit of techno babble, they realize that this was like the species at a younger age, and so it was infancy. So, which is why this place was more secure because they were trying to protect their young. And by this particular time, Detmer figured out a way to stop the hallucinations, which is fucking them over as well. The hydrocarbons affecting different species, the same should not be a surprise, as the Federation knows. The progenitors who spread their DNA among the galaxy. I keep thinking of that dude from fucking Orville who would spread his horniness on everyone. So much so he got
yeah, I remember that.
the blue guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he shot his load out of his head. But yeah. All right. So, okay. Where was I? I've totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, they come across some more bones or whatever, and they start touching it, and they realize it's the infants or some shit like that. And it gives them an idea that there's that through pheromones they might be able to make communication with this particular alien species. They also realize that these alien species do care for their young, so there's a good chance that they might have a regard for life. At the same time, these alien species might know what they're doing and not have a care for life, because they might just look upon human beings and other alien species as ants, and human beings don't give a fuck about ants. You know what I mean? So it might go down that route too. So it's interesting to see where that might go. I really genuinely thought we would see the aliens in this episode, but we didn't. And a couple of things, by the way, it's got me thinking regarding this, because I want to talk about the subplot, which is Tarka and Book, but I think Tarka is going to be dead by the end of this season. I think he's dead. What about you?
Yeah, I think so.
He's going to die probably heroically.
Oh, I don't think he's going to die heroically. I think he's going to try to do something. So. I think he's going to try to do something, and then Book's going to be like, nah, and then he's going to try to do it anyway, and then he's going to die for it.
Tarka at the beginning of this season has come across as somebody who's very much up his own ass, but he's become a bit more subdued during the course. And I do feel his heart's in the right place, and that's why I feel he's not going to die as an arsehole. He's going to die maybe heroically or accidentally, but I do feel he's going to be dead nevertheless. Regarding these aliens, I think they're going to be similar to the sort of whale alien we saw in Star Trek 4. They might, I think, in the sense that I'm not saying they're going to look like a giant fucking rod in space, you know what I mean? But I think it's going to be very hard for us to, for human beings to or aliens as well, other aliens as well, to contemplate what this being is, but they might be so fucking big. I mean, it's hard to tell, but I think it might go around. It might be like some sort of entity more than a species. So I think we might be going down that route too. But yeah, regarding Book wants to get information on this particular species, so that if Discovery fails in their diplomacy angle, that they can find a way of possibly killing the species or destroying the DMA. And so that's why they've kind of like joyride onto Disco, and they make contact with the leader of Earth, who's kind of skeptical of what's going on, but she's still following regulations and hoping that the diplomacy angle will work. She even told that to Book, look, we're going to try the diplomacy angle still, but if it doesn't work, then we're going to go with your plan as a backup. And at this particular point, they've been doing hijinks on the ship, and we see Tig Nagano back as Jet Renner, which is always good. I love her deadpan acting; it's really well done. You know, I mean, she's
I
not an
honestly thought
arsehole, but
I thought she was dead. I thought she was going to die right then, and that's what. And that because I thought because Book wasn't around, I thought that what's his face was gonna Tarka was gonna kill her, because what real life she has some real life health issues. So I thought maybe they were going to use this as a way to get her off the show.
yeah.
So I was hoping not, because I like her. I like her deadpan humor like you, and I think she's a great character. But at the same time, I also want her to be healthy. So I mean, obviously, if they were going to write her off, I would respect that. Respect that just for her health's sake. But I'm glad they gave her more to do, and she had a great conversation with Adira in this episode.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. Yeah, regarding Detmer.
Detmer, yeah.
I think he and Book will both die. He'll make sure to leave his necklace with his family genetics for Michael to find. No, I don't think so. I don't think Book will die. I mean,
I was going to say, if somebody dies heroically, I think honestly, it's going to be Book is going to die to save the alien C10 or whatever they're called. And that's kind of how things are going to come full circle. If he does die, I feel like he's going to become sympathetic to them, and then something's going to happen, and he's going to end up sacrificing his life to save C10.
Well, maybe
C10,
him and
right?
10C.
10C.
But maybe him and Tarka they come to blows. Excuse me. They come to blows, and they end up having another dispute, which is what maybe causes the death of one or the other. I'll be gutted if Book dies, because I feel like Michael needs it. I like the idea of Michael having a relationship in this show. It's good to see that, like, you can tell that they still care for each other, and they just, I mean, they both think they're doing the right thing. It's not like one of them has gone like evil, so anyways, nevertheless, after all the shenanigans they've done on the ship, Jet finds Tarka hiding under a table, and before we know it, Jet has been taken hostage.
Which Daniel Vance says taking Jet as a hostage was a mistake. You can't keep. Well, I think he meant to say you can't keep a good engineer confined for long.
No, look, this is my issue. This is my issue with this episode regarding all of this. Now, I know what they did was to trick Zora into not knowing that they were there, but they had to get there in the first place. And the moment they're there, Zora should know that they're there and grass them up and tell them intruder alert, intruder alert. But no, they were able to somehow get past the senses of Zora, who should have known that they were there, and then plant some devices to fool Zora. But Zora would have known that they were there. So that was a bit weird as far as I was concerned. Oh, we also had one of the leaders, this that doctor, I believe, who was playing a crossword puzzle. He was told by the president, "Listen, stop being such a fucking asshole." And he was, yeah.
And that's funny coming from a Cardassian, Bajoran hybrid.
Yeah, human hybrid. Yeah. So that was a nice little touch as well. But yeah, we've got 2 episodes left now, and it seems like we need to be coming to the end game. The puzzle answer the president solved could have also been assignment. Oh, fair enough. Okay. But yeah, and that was the episode. What do you think of it?
I also did like that United Earth got a little bit of representation in this episode with the diplomatic liaison. I don't know what she was. A general? Was she a general?
No, but she's basically she's the boss of Earth.
Yeah.
I mean.
So, but no, I'm glad she got, like, it's good. I want to see more of. See, okay, so here's, I mean, this episode was fine. I mean, it progressed the plot a decent amount. There were some issues with it regarding the, like the good feeling dust, the pixie dust, as we can call it, and stuff like that. So it was fine. But I hope next season that we go into like exploring the 32nd century of the Federation and its surrounding inhabitants. Like, I was hoping that this season, like the DMA would be like this overarching thing, but really they're going to have to go place to place to place to place to place within the Federation or within surrounding, stuff to figure it out. And it's not, but now we're like, oh, we're going beyond the Great Barrier at the edge of the galaxy and blah. And it's just like, I kind of want it to be brought back in a little bit next season. So, I mean, I do want to know who made the DMA. I feel like we're all going to be let down. I feel like it's going to be in a completely original race. If not, it might be the people who, it might be the whale people or the whale, who sent the whale probe.
I would love it if it was the whale people, man. That would be so fucking good. If it was the whale people from Star Trek 4, that would be the fucking dog's bollocks, man.
I mean, I think they did say that the probe originated from out of our galaxy. So I'd have to go back and look, but you can be a good flyer, but you don't fly good. You fly well. That's just bad writing for future persons in the Universal Translate with the Universal Translator. Nice.
No, I think initially, like with a lot of these episodes, we do get episode which give you that Star Trek vibe this particular season, but then eventually, because the whole overarching episode show is about the DMA, then the last couple of episodes have to be about the DMA properly. I mean, they have to focus on it, instead of doing all these diplomacy episodes and stuff like that. So this is where it's at. Saru still had the chance for a booty call. It's amazing, like, I'm getting a bit fed up of everyone giving little looks to each other, going, "Ooh, Saru and the fucking Vulcan lady are getting it on." Like, yeah, we know, yeah. Like, stop making a fucking big deal of it. I mean, the crew's still giving each other looks, like, yeah, Saru's getting he's gonna be like doing some porn firing tonight, But so that's getting a bit old, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah. So it was an okay episode. I'll be honest with you, I'm looking forward to this. I've been enjoying this season, but now with this close, I want a resolution, and I want it quick. To having Picard and Discovery on the same day has exhausted me. It really has. I'm fucking knackered. I'm finding it hard to give my full attention. I've just been wanting to burn through this. So I can't wait till this goes over and just focus on fucking Picard. Because this is a lot of shit to fucking handle, man. I'm getting too, Danny Glover once said, I'm getting too old for this fucking shit. So, yeah, but both shows, I'll give them both 7 out of 10s. What about you?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Picard, I would probably give a little bit more. I'd probably give it more of an 8 out of 10, just because I feel like they fixed a lot of the problems of season 1. There were a couple things that irked me, like why Rios now all of a sudden is captain of a starship. Like, why did he go back to Starfleet? Like, did they just all group hug at the end of Picard season 1? Hey, William Wells. Did they all just group hug at the end and say, let's all join Starfleet? And Seven's like, yeah, fuck off, guys. I'm gonna go do my own thing. So I find it weird that it's all like they're all Federation now, and I feel like that's a course correction from the Picard writers, from everyone who complained and bitched and moaned about season 1 not being Starfleet like, which I understand why season 1 was the way it was. It was a character study on Picard and the twilight years of his life. It wasn't a Star Trek ensemble show. And that's what I really, and don't get me wrong, I like what they're doing with this, but they're course correcting into something that, yeah, the fans, I guess, will like, but then it's just going to be a stereotypical, here's the crew, we're on a ship, we're going to go back in time, and it's going to be Star Trek for the voyage home with Picard. is what it's really going to be.
Well, look, regarding some of the like making it feel and look a bit more Starfleety, they've done it with this episode, but obviously with now Q coming along and throwing a spanner in the works, as well as the whole situation regarding the Borg as well. I don't. I'm not sure how Starfleet is going to be in the upcoming episodes, but I do feel that we've been here before in other Star Trek ventures, but they've kind of done this sort of shit in either a movie or they've done it in one or two episodes, and they're going to expand this shit now over 8 episodes. Is that how many episodes there are in Picard?
Let me check. I have it right here. I think it's 6, but let me find out for you.
I'll be back to tomorrow summit. Renal surgery in about 12 hours, so I'll be out for a couple of days. Well, good luck with that, Daniel.
No, it's still 10 episodes.
10 episodes, yes. That's a lot of episodes to deal with
It's
the
same
past.
as season 1, so.
Just want to get back to Daniel Vance here. He's having surgery tomorrow.
Oh,
so
well, good luck, man.
Yeah. We're going to be, we're kind of like doing a little rehash with the summer anyway. It might be a bit more nerd based in the future. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, regarding the summit, and yeah, I hope they don't.
I love from my comment of it being Star Trek 4. Well, no, there's at least what a 30-year difference or something like, or 40-year difference between the two, because they went back to 1986. This one's taking place in 2024. So when they go back in time. So I don't think they're going to interact, but it would be funny.
Yeah, it's almost 40 years. So yeah, it'll be exactly. So maybe they find Chekhov's fucking tricorder or phaser.
That'd be stupid funny though. Like
yeah, well, I always like the episode of Voyager where it was the future tech was found by this hippie who kind of became like the Bill Gates of his era.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's like putting everything in some sort of paradox. Like the future creates the past and so on.
Yeah.
Bit like Terminator. So yeah. But yeah, I very much I'm very happy to see Picard back, going down this different route. I'm not sure about the romance angle with Picard and the Romulan girl. It feels a bit weird seeing her, like, even though he's got in a synthetic body, Patrick Stewart's like 82 years old, man. I mean, like, it just feels a bit weird. Can he still do it to that age? Who knows? You know what I mean?
I mean, as I said, he is synthetic. He's an android, technically, a synthetic android. So I mean, he probably has those hip flexors that go zzz, 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 zzz. He puts it in pound mode.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see that. I want to get to know the crew a little bit better, because at the moment I'm calling them, like, apart from 7 and 9, who we're all familiar with, I'm calling them Blondie and Poe Dameron and Black Lady. I mean, like, I can't be doing that, And Romulan boy, Black Lady, Blondie, and Poe Dameron. I mean, seriously,
Yeah, right.
I need to know their fucking names. I need to remember their fucking names. So I'm hoping that will change in the future as well. So and Twin Girl, forgot her.
Yeah,
I mean, looking proper sexy with her fucking braless outfit she was wearing. I mean, very nice. I approve. Of her outfit. But it'll be interesting to see what they all have to offer in the next few episodes, and how we get all these unusual individuals who really have nothing in common with each other back together again. And you can be thankful to Q for possibly doing that, So yeah. Temporal war. You know what, William? Well, people got a real hard on for this fucking temporal war. They
I mean,
really do.
if any kind of sentient beings do anything, they can make a war out of it. Like you invent time travel, you make war. You colonize land, you make war over it. Like that's one of our most defining traits is the fact that we can make war over. We can make war over a spouse. You know, we've seen like like I mean we can make war out of anything. That's our defining trait as sentient beings. So I mean,
Well, the temporal war happened in the 90s, didn't it?
huh? No, the eugenics wars happened
Yeah,
in the 90s.
sorry, yeah, bloody hell, I'm getting all mixed
No,
up.
he's talking about the temporal war in Star Trek Enterprise, where the people from the future were influencing things of the past to make the timeline line up to kind of like what the sacred timeline type thing,
Oh
So
yeah, like yeah, sorry, I forget because I remember Benjamin Sisko being being having temporal investigations, paying him a visit over some shit as well. Do you remember?
was that him or was that Janeway? Maybe it was
No, it
Cisco.
was him because Janeway was in the fucking Delta Quadrant, man.
Yeah,
It was it was Cisco because people are fucking with the timeline all the goddamn time.
that's
But
true.
yeah,
They always are messing with the fucking timeline.
so exactly, you don't even know what the fucking timeline is anymore. For fuck's sake, So
I've been trying to find out where the whale probe came from. Like I've been kind of reading through some stuff here while we've been talking, um, just to see. And they do in one of the Star Trek books. So this is not canon, but in one of the Star Trek books, it does reference the whale probe as a extra galactical entity, which means it is outside of our galaxy. So yeah, maybe that's the race that sent the whale probe.
well,
Um,
the moment they fucking got those humpbacks to the future and they communicated with that probe, they should have got a fucking um Starfleet vessel on that shit.
That's what I
You know what I
was
mean?
thinking too. Like they should have had a probe, like fought like when the probe left. I mean, it's not like it warped out. It just kind of started moving out, like at normal speed. I mean, well, not like at impulse speed, not warp speed. So I'm like, why not just have a
Yeah,
probe follow it and figure out where it's going?
yeah, exactly. Um, I've always thought that too, but that's Hollywood for you, nevertheless. But yeah, we got a teaser for the next few episodes of Picard. So that must have made you happy, kind of give you an idea where the show's going a little bit. No idea what's going to be happening on Disco, and so we'll see how that pans out too. Now tomorrow, just so people know, I might, if I get the chance and I have the energy, playing a bit more of Drake's Fortune, which is the first Uncharted game. And if we do our own version of the summit, we'll let you guys know about that too. He's gone. Saturday, I'm going to be doing a review. I'll be doing a review, and hopefully Bobby Black has seen it by then. But I'll be doing it with Bossman for sure, of Guardians of Justice. This is
I'm
currently on
3
Netflix.
episodes in. I'm gonna try. It's what 7 episodes. I'm gonna
It's
try.
what I did, Cheeto, is I watched 4 episodes in one day, and then I watched 3 episodes the next day. It was a lot easier like that. And I'll be honest with you, the first 4 episodes was a hard watch. It really was. It was a hard watch, but because they're like 25 minutes each, if you take out all the credits and stuff like that, it's about 25 minutes per episode. I managed to soldier on through it. And plus having people you recognize like Diamond Dallas Page in it which was interesting. But there's a lot of cameos in there, Denise Richards,
Yeah, I
Jane
saw that.
Seymour, Bridget Nielsen, for
Oh,
fuck's sake. I mean, Bridget Nielsen's in this and shit like that. Like, wow. And there's a couple more in there. I'm sure I've forgotten. But there's a lot of a lot of stuff in there. So we'll be doing a review of Guardians of Justice. Please, you guys watch that and struggle to watch that. It's
join
on
us in our
Netflix.
struggle.
Yeah, because that is one that is without doubt the most bizarre. Oh yeah, TLC from Stargate. Yeah, you're watching that. Yeah, he plays the president of the United States.
Oh,
I
that's
mean?
who that. Yeah, I knew I
Yeah,
recognized him from somewhere.
I knew it was him. I just forgot his name. You know, but yeah, that is one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch, and it's
It's
fucking bizarre. It's fucking weird. It is Watchmen on acid. It's the best way to describe it. You know what I mean? Because it's set in the 80s, alternative universe, alternative timeline. Like 2 years after World War II, they had World War III with cyber fucking Hitler. Cyberpunk Hitler. Oh my
yeah,
god.
I know that. I I want the sales pitch to Netflix on this show. Like, what was the pitch for this show?
They overdone it with some of the animation, as far as I was concerned. But and yeah, Spider Man, Spider Kid, and like you got instead of Robin, you got Little Wing, and John Morrison. He was like a hybrid of Nightwing and Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? But he looked like Rambo.
You know what's really funny though is that you say that is that John Morrison was involved in a film fight between Nightwing and the Winter Soldier on Bat in the Sun. Like John
Oh
Morrison played the Winter Soldier in that fight. I'll link you later.
yeah, he could be. Yeah, he's perfect for the role. To tell you the truth. Yeah, I mean John Morrison. He could play a good Winter Soldier. But it was really good to see him hamming it up and stuff like that, and the sort of like John Wick style shooting scenes and stuff. But yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, it's DC in the acid universe. Yeah,
Right in
it's
with
fucking crazy.
Acid Man fan films. That's for damn sure.
It's absolutely fucking crazy. And like just seeing Diamond Dallas Page, this yoga instructor, like smoking cigars. you know, he's smoking fucking cigars all the time, man. Like we're going to be talking about that this weekend, as I said. So keep an eye out for that because there is a lot to talk about regarding that show, a lot to debate. I can't wait to talk about it. To tell you the truth, give you my proper opinions on it. But I'm keeping some of it to myself because I don't want to fucking talk about it today. And plus, Cheeto has to see the rest of the episodes as well.
I got 4 left.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna try to watch maybe 2 more tonight, and then maybe I'll watch 2 more tomorrow. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right then, fellas. I think we've done our part for the Star Trek universe. Oh, by the way, tomorrow is also Batman. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and see.
I might be going with friends to see it. I don't know yet. I haven't bought my tickets, but my friends have bought tickets. But they have like seats that are like super close to the screen, and I'm like, I don't want to be sitting like this watching a movie.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. It's not just that, but you gotta look at it. You gotta go like that, like, oh yeah, gotta see this part of the screen, that part of the screen, that part of the screen. That's how I look at it.
My neck's gonna hurt by the end of it, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. And then there's no other seats available. That's why I'm like, besides the towards the front. So I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Also, I just want to bring up the fact, and I forgot to bring this up at the beginning, that today is the first time since Deep Space Nine went off the air in season 7 and the end of season 5 of Star Trek Voyager that we've had 2 concurrent live action Star Treks running at the same time. Like, running on the same week.
What year was that, by the way?
I want to say it was 98. Hold on, I got to find out when Deep Space Nine ended. But that would have been the last. That would have been the last time. I think it was 98 though.
Well, that's 24, 25 years ago, man. That's
a
long time.
No, it doesn't say the end. This says the first episode was 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. No, it might have been. Wait a minute. Might have been 2000 then. 1999. So what?
Yeah, about 23 years ago.
Yeah, 23 years ago. So it is the first time. Now we did have we did have Prodigy, I think, in Discovery running simultaneously, I think, for like a week or two. But but this is the first time since then in 23 years that we have had two live action Star Treks running at the same time. Yay for Trek! Bum, 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 bum. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. There's we spoke about this before, but Alex Kurtzman, he's been getting, in my opinion, unnecessary hate. I can understand people hating on him initially because Discovery was really fucking weird. Picard wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but if you course correct, which he has done in Discovery, and I think he looks like he's doing that in Picard. And obviously, everyone likes fucking Lower Decks.
And Prodigy wasn't my cup of tea, but it wasn't bad. I'll give it that.
And we could hopefully be getting episodic old school Star Trek in Strange New Worlds.
Yep. And I think we're going to be getting a Starfleet Academy show, which everybody's been clamoring for ages.
Yeah, I heard about
Section
that too.
31, which I'm here for. I mean, I think a Black Ops version of a Star Trek show would be cool. I do agree with you, Zam, though, that I do want a like not Federation based show. You know what I mean? Like something that's not like it doesn't have to be based, like,
but
on
not
the
the
Klingons,
Federation.
but maybe like a privateer that like kind of like the Mandalorian, just in Star Trek, like where you're following like a traitor and they have to deal with all of these different races on the with outside of the Federation's purview. So I feel like that would be a lot more. I would like to see something like that because the Federation's great and it's got so many facets that you can do all of these things. But then also at the same time, I'm really kind of ready for something that's kind of outside the realm of Starfleet and Federation and humans and everything like that, And I don't want the main character to look like a human. I want the main character to look like something different. The closest we've got so far is Saru, who is a main character. He's not the main character, but he's a main character that does not look very human at all. I kind of want them to lean into that and give us a main character that doesn't look like a main character. They just need somebody who's very expressionate and good at conveying through expression. Because when you have all those prosthetics on, like Saru, but he still does a really good job at expressing, and stuff like that.
I give him credit. I give the actor credit, Doug Jones, because that guy's been putting prosthetics on for most of his career, and he's done to do Saru as much as he does. Yeah, there's a lot of dedication. I noticed that the uniform was like a cross between TNG and the movie. Yeah, but I do understand where Daniel Vance is coming from, William, because it does at times. The times those suits do look a bit cheap and tacky. I mean, they look like just like a black outfit with some red or yellow stuck at the top of it. Now the suits in Disco, they look good. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean in the future suits?
Well, the suits in Disco look great, but the suits in Picard, the uniforms, they look a bit tacky, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like Disco's original uniforms in season 1 and 2. I'm like, I hated those uniforms so much.
No, I wasn't really into those either. But also, by the way, it seems that that they're already using sort of hologram tech in Picard, which seemed to be a more prominent thing in Disco when they got to the future. Obviously, Disco is set originally set before TOS by 10 years, but Picard is set like 100 years or so after TOS, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much, because the Next Generation was 80 years after. It was 80 years after. After TOS, so it's been about 20 to 30 years.
I think the year's like
2399.
It's 120, 130 years. Yeah,
well,
but
season 1 of Picard took place in 2399. which is weird because they say that this takes place a year and a half after season 1. They don't even like mention the centennial, like getting into the 25th century. Like I thought they'd mention something because
Yeah,
after
I
season
agree with your
1, they
point.
would be crossing into the centennial of the 25th century, 2400.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, all I kept thinking about was all those grapes getting transported. Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
glad you're thinking of that, Zam.
that's pretty cool. They're transporting grapes and stuff like that, and Picard's making all this wine and stuff. And also, by the way, when they went to see Guinan as well, like she pulled out some sort of weird brandy. And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to alien alcohol, there's only one, and that's Romulan ale. And if you ain't fucking drinking that, what's the fucking point? You know what I
It's
mean?
new.
Yeah. So yeah, fair enough. All right. So I think that's our Disco and Picard chat over with. We've spoken a lot about it. Next week we'll be talking more, and during the course of this week, whatever we can bring up for you guys, we'll be talking about it. Is there any other shows that's coming up that we missed?
I
I
mean,
know,
end of the month is Moon Knight. So I mean, but
yeah,
that's
I
really the
feel that
next thing
forever
we got.
away. Yeah, that feels like, so. We'll try and get you guys a review of Batman. I think we'll have a little debate on that when we get a chance. See how many of us have watched it. Maybe by next week, I think we could do a little round table of us talking about it.
Okay.
And obviously, whatever else comes on the scene, there's plenty of Star Trek coming from us too, and of course, Guardians of Justice. Be interesting talking about that fucking bollocks.
Also, keep in mind we're getting next month at around this time next month is Star Trek Day. It's
Yeah, yeah.
April. What is it? April 7th, I think, or
May the
April.
4th. I'm only taking the piss, but and
Or
we
it's
also
First
want to thank
Contact Day. I'm sorry.
all our subscribers and viewers on whether it be Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube for making us hit 2,500 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting there, baby. Next stop is 3,000. So
April 5th is Star Trek Day. Is a month and 2 days away.
you like the badge Picard's wearing? Yeah, mate. I thought it was pretty cool too. Yeah. So yeah, can't wait to see what happens in the future episodes. So join us next Thursday for that, and keep an eye out on YouTube. Subscribe to us. Put your notifications on for us as well, because God knows what's out there, and we'll probably fucking review it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Live long and prosper, everyone. I love you with every fiber of my being.